Now, my next guest is a judge for Canada's Next Top Model, but in the beginning, she struggled to find her place in the modeling world. This is Stacey Mackenzie. Hi, Stacey.
Hi,
Tara. So, you got turned down by so many modeling agencies.
Oh, yes. I tried for about 5 years to find a modeling agency. I first started in New York. I went to all the agencies. I took a bus from Canada to New York about 3 times. They all said no. I tried again in Canada. They all said no.
Hi, this is Al from Fashion Studio 7 magazine, and today we are here with a supermodel. Now, guys, this is not an ordinary supermodel. This girl comes with some credentials. She's Torontonian, she's international. This is supermodel Stacey Mackenzie. How are you, Stacey?
I'm good, Al.
Where did it start for Stacey Mackenzie?
Where did it start? It started with a little girl in Kingston, Jamaica that originally dreamt to become a doctor. But at the sight of seeing blood, I flipped out and I was like, that's out the door. And at some point, my sister came to visit and she brought In-Flight magazine, and that's how I found out about the world of fashion. I was 6 years old at the time. And from I saw that picture, I was just hooked since. From she read the article to me, I was just hooked on it since, and I was just on a mission to pursue fashion and to pursue modeling. And I don't know what it was, I just felt like I belonged in this industry. You know, I had a lot of negative attention, growing up, and but for some reason I had a lot of attention. So I don't know what possessed me at that age to like figure out, well, I have a lot of attention, so that means I must have something. So yeah, I mean, I
okay, hang on, attention.
Attract people.
Okay, attention, attracting people. All right.
Perfect, fashion, perfect.
Now you have genetics.
Yeah, that too.
So 5'11"? How 5'11"?
Yeah, almost 5'11".
Almost 5'11". Okay,
Yeah.
So you had the genetics and the height to go with the pretty face,
and the different look, the edgy look. Yeah.
You know something? I gotta admit, I love the freckles.
Thank you.
Freckles.
But in the beginning, though, Al, my look wasn't accepted. Like when they first, when I first was pursuing modeling, I couldn't even get an agency. It took me 5 years to get an agency.
Wow.
A simple thing as getting an agency took me that long, all because like they didn't see me as a model. They saw the body, yeah, they saw the height, but in terms of my looks, they thought I was way too different looking. They thought I wasn't able to sell the clothing, right? You know, I was gonna take away from the clothing. I was gonna be able to like, you know, yeah, sell it. And they just didn't see it. They didn't get it. They thought I was weird. There wasn't a place, they didn't feel like there was a category for me, right? You know, like there's the white girls with the blonde hair, so like there's like the pretty girls,
girl next
you know,
door.
typical pretty girl, round away next door girls. But when it came to black girls, it's like, it was always more of like a black version of the white girl next door. So when I came along, it was like, what in the world? They didn't know where to like, you know, place me, right? It's like, okay, and even with the weave on, it's like I still had, you know, a very avant-garde look.
Right.
So it was like, whoa, you know, so it was very particular. And they thought at the time too, like, you know, it was a very small market that I could do, like, you know, certain particular jobs that I could do, but not enough where it's gonna like, you know, go into big money for them. So they didn't think I was sellable enough.
When you were growing up and you're getting all this attention in Jamaica, okay, were you like walking and strutting stuff down the street and stuff?
Oh yeah, I was. But at the same time, I was hiding a lot, like feeling really bad about myself inside. I used to play it off. I used to pretend that I was like, you know, the ish, that I was a hot girl. Right. But really, I was dying inside. It was.
Well, thank you for being so real, man.
It really took. Yeah, it was really a lot for me to deal with. Like, but you know, growing up, I was taught by my mom to like not let anything faze me, not let people see, like, you know, that I'm hurting. Like you know, she always, you know, she always teach me how to hide, you know, like my fears, and like, you know, my fears. So I used to always walk out with like my head held high, shoulders back, you know, very regal, but really inside I was dying. Yeah, I was feeling really bad about myself, because the world was making me feel like I didn't belong here.
Very interesting. Yeah. When did you start coming into your own? You start saying, okay, I am now marketable. I can. No, somebody must have reached out and said, I see something in Stacey Mackenzie, a certain agency that said, I can market you.
Well, they didn't say that they could market me, but like the first person that really believed in me was Karen Lee, and she's a famous scout and agent at Elite at the time. She was the first one that really like believed in me, and like she wasn't afraid to go after it. She put her job on the line, convincing her boss to take me on in the agency. And she saw the vision. When I first walked in, the first thing she said to me was, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful." And it was refreshing because I've never heard that before.
Wow.
I've never heard like nobody's ever told me before that you're pretty, you're beautiful. I never heard that before.
Now you walk into a major agency, and someone like her tells you you're beautiful. You got to go, this is nice.
And I was like, really? You think so? Because I don't think so, and everybody else doesn't seem to think so. And she was like, "Oh God, no, you're gorgeous."
Now, what did you were involved when you were growing up? Were you involved in sports competition?
Oh yeah, big time. I'm a track star.
Are you really? Are you really?
Yeah. Oh, big time. I'm like a big time athlete. Growing up, I did track. So I ran like the 60 and the 100 meters and 4x1.
Okay. So you're a sprinter.
I'm a sprinter. Yeah.
All right.
And when I came to Canada, I fell in love with volleyball. So I played beach and court volleyball.
Oh shit! And
also,
where you get the legs from.
And I also play. No, I get the legs from my mama. My 5'1" mama.
Wow.
Really, I have her legs, like the shape. Yeah, but I'm very athletic. When I first came to Canada, and then in grade school, when I got to high school at the age of 14, I was in high school. I was playing in the seniors. I was playing senior basketball. I was I was the youngest. Yeah, I don't play. And I also played softball. Yes, and I also played tennis.
So were you first baseman, shortstop? What did you play in?
Outfield.
Outfield,
yes.
Good
Outfield.
arm?
Oh, big time.
Yeah, what was your bat
I can
like?
throw.
Can you hit?
Oh, I can hit too. Yeah.
Yeah, the chance. Stacey, you guys know it. First Fashion Studio 7. This girl's an athlete.
Yeah.
That is really good stuff. So now you end up in Toronto. You're in Toronto right now. And you hit the Elite, and you're doing your little stuff.
No, that's in New York.
That's in New York.
Yeah, I like Toronto because they didn't get it here. Like, Toronto's a very conservative city when it comes to fashion, and especially back then, it was even more conservative. So they didn't see it. They didn't have the place for me here. And I was always told you need to go to New York or go to Europe. So that's what I did.
New York.
At 15, I jumped on the bus and I went to New York.
15 years old.
But I didn't get with Elite until when I was like 16, going on 17.
What was it like 15 years old, taking that bus, New York City, hitting agencies?
I was excited. Like my mom wasn't happy. She like kicked me out of the house. That's another story. But I was super excited. I was like anxious. I couldn't wait to get there. Even though I didn't know anybody, I was like nervous too, but I was more so excited.
Wow.
I was like, I just felt like, this is where I belong, and like,
this is it.
I want to do this. I can't wait.
What kind of response did you get
Bad.
when you walked in? So what'd you say? I'm Stacey Mackenzie. I'm 15 years old. And
I walked in and I was like, they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I want to be a model. And they're like, really? I don't see it. I'm like, you need to see it. But it was worse in New York because in Canada we're so nice here. It's very like, oh, but you need to try, New York and Paris, in London. Here the market is too conservative for you. But in New York, it was like, oh, hell no. What are you doing here? No, you need to go back home. Leave it alone, not for you. It was very much like that in New York. It was hardcore. New Yorkers, they don't joke.
What did you do?
I just kept on going to all the agencies.
Did you end up back in Toronto or did you stay there?
Yeah, I ended up going back to Toronto because I didn't get with an agency. Right. Like for the first a good 2-3 times I went there. Actually, 3 or so times I went there. And I went to see all the agencies back again and they're like, we saw you like last month or 2 months ago or 3 months ago. You're still the same. We're still not interested. No.
Perseverance.
Yeah. Huh? But I just kept on going back. Yeah.